Lambo's most recent street vehicle is a V10 fueled tribute to dashing. Malibu, California. There's no deficiency of show in LA. From studio magnates moving in ultraluxe cars to wannabe racers utilizing interstates as their very own circuits. The city of angels detonates with vehicular energy, a lot of it inauthentic. And afterward there's the 2022 Lamborghini Huracan STO. Slathered in scoops, spoilers, and conduits, the Huracan STO resembles each go-quick visual platitude rejuvenated, a cartoon of genuine article racecars. This one is even completed in blue and orange, a kind of colorful interpretation of Gulf uniform. Yet, the STO's story is really legitimate. The last Huracan variation moving toward this degree of no-nonsense was the Huracan Performante, 2017 to 2019, which many, counting this creator, credited as the brand's first dependable track weapon. The resulting Huracan EVO was dispatched at Bahrain's F1 circuit and stacked with aspiring tech. Nonetheless, its suspension arrangement, which joined four-wheel guiding and a variable directing proportion, come up short on the consistency and edge required for genuine track driving. This time around, the STO draws authentic motivation from Lambo's Super Trofeo and GT3 race vehicles, which have helped the brand guarantee in excess of 100 GT3 wins. And 3 inside and out Daytona 24 hours triumphs in succession. Not an awful beginning ground in a bid for significance. The STO's many-sided skin is 75% carbon fiber, helping shed approximately 95 pounds over the Performante. And keeping in mind that it claims 37% more streamlined proficiency over its archetype, the STO's monstrous, 3-way flexible back wing deals with an amazing 926 pounds of downforce at 174 miles per hour, which is 53% more than the Performante. Supporting the work are magnesium Hagel's 20% lighter windshield. However, Lamborghini just distributes dry weight figures, and the STO claims a simple 2,950 pounds without liquids. Any reasonable person would agree that featherweighting has been forcefully sought after. The suspension is more forceful because of solidified bushings, modified stabilizer bars, and a refreshed attractive versatile damper arrangement. Gracious, and the frunk? In one more motorsports gesture, it's intended to oblige a full face cap. The STO's 5.2-liter V10 produces a similar 640 metric torque as the Huracan EVO, that would be 631 in the pull you're more acquainted with. For reference, that figure is in reality more than Lamborghini's GT3 and Super Trofeo race vehicles, which are both evaluated at 620 metric pull. However, the GT3's motor is restricted to 550 metric HP to adjust to the FIA's overall influence guidelines. The STO's force drops from the EVO's 443 pound-feet to 417 lb-ft, with the potential gain of more prominent choke reaction and faster shift times from the 7-speed double-grasp transmission. The force decrease is likewise neutralized by dumping the all-wheel drive powertrain for a back-drive design, saving significant weight. Unique 6-cylinder front and 4-cylinder back Brembo CCMR brakes get F1 tech for fourfold the measure of warm conductivity over standard carbon ceramic plugs. Most extreme slowing down power likewise improves by 25%, and a dashboard show offers a brake temperature checking readout. Curiously, the Pirelli P0's sidewalls were considered excessively delicate for the STO's raised downforce and cornering loads, which drove Lamborghini to foster an extraordinary road and track compound with Bridgestone tires. Our analyzer's discretionary trim bundles loan it an extremely redone feel inside, with differentiating high-contrast squares of calfskin and alcantara. This specific model parades a clothing rundown of trim choices including full livery exterior pack, $37,800, difference pack, $4,000, full exterior carbon pack, $21,600, and dull chrome and carbon, $8,600. Furthermore, that is only first off. Truth be told, the choices list is so extensive on our acquired sled that previously had the heavy beginning cost of $327,838 inflatables to an amazing $442,033 because of the high as can be heap of additional items. Improving the confounding cost is the exciting impact of the normally suctioned V10, which alarms neighbors and companions, obstructs a way that there's a braggadocious, terrible kid around. There's as yet nothing very like sitting in a Lamborghini and starting up a major normally suctioned V10, regardless of whether its entryway's open. Along these lines, not that happy face way. The Huracan seats actually sit shockingly tall inside the lodge, yet the absence of floor mats and uncovered carbon fiber entryway boards commute home the racecar subject. The advanced dashboard and halfway situated touchscreen add a nerd contact. All things considered, the outrageous reductionism annoyingly eliminates the volume handle. You need to dive into the touchscreen to change the sound level. As in the past, drive modes are controlled through a little red switch at 6 o'clock on the guiding wheel, dealing with the conduct of the motor, transmission, footing control, steadiness control, back tire directing, force vectoring, and ABS. For this situation, the modes are named STO, Trofeo, and Piaggia Road, Race, and Downpour, and each conveys a substantially unique person. Pull away in Piaggia, and the STO plays meek and delicate, reacting to inputs like a murmuring pussycat. Tap into Trofeo, and the Lamborghini transforms into an effortlessly incensed hunter, with a razor choke reaction and sharp promptness to controlling sources of info. This is the mode that causes the STO to feel generally predictable with its aggro looks. It beseeches you to stick the choke, which thus can kick the tail out with emotional tire spin. Trofeo isn't the mode you need in the event that you are looking for the speediest lap times, yet it's ostensibly the best time, opening up the searing character of the STO's resonating V10, and its incapacitating consequences for yaw point. While it's not the torqueist at lower RPM, the motor breezes itself up to create a wonderful surge of force as the virtual touch moves to a delightful 8,500 RPM redline. STO mode limits the show in light of a legitimate concern for lap times. Exchanging tire turn for forward movement and shortening slides to all the more successfully cut peaks. It's a less fun, however more compelling method for augmenting this present Lamborghini's raised capacities. Guiding the STO through Malibu's most difficult gulch streets uncovers stunning stores of execution underneath its, for the most part, carbon fiber skin. In contrast to the EVO, there's no rethinking the aims of the suspension, simply an immediate, direct connection between driver information sources and vehicle elements. The STO meets and surpasses speed limits without hardly lifting a finger. Also, its ridiculous appearance would make arguing your goal to an official of the law everything except inconceivable. This is a supercar that looks quick, and goes much quicker, particularly while diving towards its demonstrated 8,500 RPM red line, where the launch is impacted with the cerebrum-shaking thunder of the V10. In spite of the impressive sound and anger, there isn't a lot expectation to absorb information expected to deal with the STO's capacities, fundamentally in light of the fact that its apparatus feels more simple than advanced. Credit the linearity of the normally suctioned motor, which does not have a turbocharger's increase under help. Nonetheless, the greater differentiator here is the case, the directing, with its decent proportion in the STO, feels instinctive and offers great feel. The association with the street yields, for the most part, unsurprising outcomes. The special case is the point at which the choke is crushed and the tacky bridge stones are survived, and at higher rates it seems like the air's extensive downforce is helping keep the wedgy two-seater in touch with landing area. Brakes? We scarcely took advantage of their ability out and about, notwithstanding weighty application, loaning validity to Lamborghini's cases of their track-worthiness. All things considered, encountering the Huracan STO on open streets uncovers the striking contrast between its stratospheric execution envelope and the smothering limits of this present reality. The STO can have your permit yanked faster than you can say Super Trofeo Omologata, its namesake, which shows its homologation from dashing. Yet, what a best approach! This most recent Lamborghini tests the best of what its triumphant race vehicles bring to the table, while offering root, Bluetooth, and a sound framework that is practically nice enough to overwhelm the mournful cry of its V10. Disregarding the common luxuries, the road-going STO figures out how to lap the Hockenheim circuit in 1:48.86, a simple 2 seconds behind its racecar partner, which wears slicks. Its creator considers this Huracan a festival of the burning motor, which couldn't be a more genuine assertion since all Lamborghini model lines will be hybridized by 2024. Up to that point, enjoy the STO, which accomplishes its main goal of putting a racecar out and about with dazzling entirety.